Jason Lee Podcast.
Welcome back to an all-new episode of the Jason Lee Podcast. What a week. I often see in the comments people asking me, come back to work, where are you? What comment? This week I have seen more of where are yous than when I was looking for my own father, okay?
Oh my God.
I've worked through my trauma. I'm fine. Listen, welcome back to an all-new episode of the Jason Lee Podcast. There's so many people watching. I just want to say at the onset of this show, I don't allow any of you to use this in a deposition. I am tired of people bringing up my show in depositions. Those of you that are, you know who you are.
The ops.
I'm not getting sued. I'm just saying I ended up in a deposition and so did this show. You know, one thing you have to understand about the Jason Lee Podcast and the Jason Lee Show, it is all entertainment. It is all for fun. I am a jokester. I'm going to joke about everything. That is not a disclaimer. That is me just letting you know what the hell going on over here. But we are here and there's a lot going on the internet. Can I just please start by saying that in my personal life, I have started unfriending and muting a lot of you people on social media who have nothing to do better than to come online and spew negativity. I have so much going on in my life and there's so much going on in the world. I don't even know where we are with Tariffgate. I don't want to see negativity on my timeline. For your own mental health services, please start muting and blocking people. Do not block this show though, because you are going to need it to be able to get through your day. The second part is, y'all only got one life to live. Can we just decide to live happier lives? Think about it. Life goes so fast. There's so many people passing away. There's so just doom and gloom. The world. Why not spend it being happy? Is that too much to ask?
No. And I think with so much negativity going on, we should take time to meditate or just give space to good energy. Live a happy life.
We do live in a world where bad news, I feel like, travels more than good news.
It does. Also, I've had people spinning the block, but then then being lost on the block again. We're not playing these games in 2025. I believe God wants me to just be single the rest of my life and just gallivant through the world, through every country, and have a great time, and then go back and get to work.
God does not want you to be single.
Brazil is on the list. By the way, when I go to Brazil with Rob, we will not be journaling that show. All right. So, look, lots going on, and we're going to get into it all today. Let me think if there's anything I want. The Hollywood Unlocked Impact Awards is literally right around the corner. I'm going to do a round of applause. But I'm stressed. This is an annual thing, right? I get stressed. I think everything's going to fall apart, and then it becomes bigger than ever. And I think because last year was so big, there's a lot of pressure with it being bigger this year. We're going back to the Zeus Network. The event is on June 20th. Tickets will be available. Tables will be available for those who want to come. It is going to be a show. Our performers, 2 of the 3 performances are already locked in, and they are phenomenal, right? Mm-hmm. People. Yep. And then we're working on a couple others. So I'm really excited. I don't even think we've told our team yet who's all in the mix, but we do have a lot of things moving and shaking. All right. This is the show that everybody's been waiting for. And Lord, I'm telling you right now, as a disclaimer, I can say what I want to say at work, and this is what it is. Somebody asked online the other day, are you a vice mayor, a podcaster, a talk show host? I am all of that wrapped in one big old bundle of cuteness. And this is my time, my 1 hour a week or 2 or 3 to be reckless. It's time for Tea with Jason Lee. Went a little longer than we expected today. Okay. As I turn the page, some of you are not doing that. I don't know why everything has to be on social media, but if it wasn't, would I have a job? No. Would I be who I am today? No. Would you be here? No. And that's why I applaud all of you for having these reckless lives.
Oh, no.
I also want to say, I'm always called shady, messy, all these. Are those nouns or verbs?
I think they're adjectives.
Whatever they are. I'm called all these things. I'm called all these things when really, is it me? Or is it you? I live in my truth. And sometimes the truth in a world where it is not safe or not accepted to be honest or be truth, it comes off messy because we all walk around with thoughts. Just a minute ago, Rob got up to go turn the light off. He got on this thin, loose shirt because he wanted to show the abs from all of the liposuction he got. I will support you however you want to lose weight. You know, I was a big old fat old thing, lost all that weight. Yeah, I did it, and I had it sucked out the same way he did. So technically, he's following in my footsteps. Let me give you your flowers. But you know what? The reality is that I owned getting the fat sucked out of me, as he did too. But some of you won't do it. Some of you, as I said on Instagram, will go right over there to DMV and say you're 200 pounds when you know you're 255 and one hamburger away from 300. And that is okay. I'm not fat shaming. I'm just saying the truth is that, and that is fat. It's not thick shaming. It's not a little on the large shaming. It's called fat shaming. The same thing y'all did to Lizzo. Can't do it no more. The same thing y'all used to do to Lizzo when she was thick. She was fat. She was all these things. When now y'all are online praising and talking about, oh, she this, she that, shit. She's still Lizzo. By the way, Lizzo, bring your ass over here to the show. Yeah. But you know what? Now when I look at what's happening on social media, I'm sitting back and I'm feeling vindicated of all the accusations that have been lodged against me and my brand. All right. Well, we're going to get to all of that in a second, but we're going to get into some real serious stuff about one of our favorite moms, and that is Miss Tina Knowles. Tina Knowles is out here spilling all the tea. Now, Tina, I'm going to tell you right now, and this is somebody who loves you and loves your whole family, even you, Jay-Z.
Oh, my God.
Tina, you're messy. No, love it, though. Tina is not messy like, because messy is not a bad thing. Let's say that. Tina is half fuck around and find out. Like Mama Bear. You mess with my kids, mess with my family, you're going to fuck around and find out. Then she's half beauty queen. Then she's like super mom. And then she's also like that girl who sits on the ledge and gossips to all her neighbors. Because this one right here, I'm sure if I gave her a double shot of Kahlua and a good time, she would be talking so reckless about all of the people in the industry because you could tell she's a talker. Which if you go look at old clips of Beyonce before she became Beyonce, she was messy too. And even though her dialect wasn't always the best and she couldn't articulate a lot of words, she was talking shit and giving you these side eyes. That's why Beyonce is one of us and we're one of her. Well, fans are used to seeing Miss Tina Knowles, popping up on our feeds with crazy jokes and the little knock, who's there, whatever, and her fashion. Well, now she's recently gotten a little bit more vulnerable and sharing a more emotional side about her and her business. And when she sat down with CBS Morning host Gayle King. You know, Gayle was the girl that went up into the space for 11 seconds and they turned it into a whole Netflix documentary and you thought she maybe circled the moon. Well, anyway, Miss Tina gave us a glimpse behind the curtain. And Beyonce and Solange, you know, this is their mom. She's 71 years old and looking good for 70. She must be, look at her. She must be using that secret. Sacred. Mm-hmm. Well, she's revealing that she was diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer last year. Now, the diagnosis came after delayed mammogram. She said that, and when I watched the interview, she said that during COVID, she had skipped doing the exam to later find out that she had 2 tumors in her left breast. Now, here she is explaining her diagnosis and how she was surrounded by her bonus daughters, her niece Angie Bience, who we love, and Kelly Rowland, who we love, ahead of the surgery. Take a listen.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer in my left breast.
How hard is it to say that?
I'm getting emotional because it was like, you know, I've always tried to take care of myself and I was in disbelief.
The American Cancer Society recommends a mammogram every 1 to 2 years for women over the age of 55. But Knowles missed hers during the COVID pandemic and forgot to reschedule it until last year. That's when doctors found 2 tumors. One was benign, the other had stage 1 cancer.
It was stage 1, which I thought was the earliest stage. And then when I told my sister, she said, no, actually there's a 0. So if I had gone for my mammogram, I would have got it at the 0 stage. Thank God it was still very small, hadn't spread. It was a very slow spreading cancer.
Knowles had a lumpectomy to remove the cancer from her left breast. Take us to the day of the surgery. Your girls, all of them showed up.
All of them showed up
in the hospital before the surgery. And
Yes,
what did they do?
I was nervous, and so they started just joking with me. And Solange pulls up this video of this young trans woman, and she's saying, "I'm very demure." And intentional with my and we're just laughing at
Keep
it. I mean,
it
we just
cute.
kept keep
Yes,
it cute.
yes.
And so she's showing me this, and we just look at it
Right before the surgery?
Right before the surgery. So I start laughing. I get out of my head, and then I said, you know, I'm just so happy that y'all are here. And I thought about the song "Walk with Me," which they used to sing all the time. And Michelle wasn't there, but Solange filled in, Angie sung, and they sung "Walk with Me." And it's about God walking with you into something and protecting you. And that's what they sung that song, and I went in there feeling just like God has got me.
I mean, it's good to see this veil drop. Miss Tina, you typically don't let us this close into your life unless it's talking about your daughter and what she's doing. And I think being Beyonce's mouthpiece when she doesn't want to set the record straight, you do a great job as mom of that. But I think it's good to see this vulnerable side. You know, a lot of people have seen you guys so buttoned up over the decades that it's almost like you're like just trees, right? And so it's, you know, no, I mean, not in a bad way. I think that people who see you one way, so reserved and so tight-lipped about your personal life, won't really know how to connect with you when you are going through things. But to see you more human, to see you sharing this side of you, you're probably going to save a lot of lives, because there's a lot of young women who are not thinking about the seriousness of having a mammogram. But so thank you for sharing. I mean, it's really sad to see her go through this, but also really encouraging at the same time.
And I feel like it's a good reminder to, like, you never know what someone's going through, so be nice to everybody. Because Chadwick, everyone's saying he was sickly looking, and then he had cancer too. Ariana Grande, that's why I'm like very careful to talk about her, because you don't know what people go through, and this is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think to that point, I think more people will be aware and start to go get tested. I think people should just have this conversation more often than we do, because if you can catch something early, you can prevent like a fatal circumstance from happening. So just go get tested.
I'm going to disagree on be careful talking about people what they're going through. When you are a public figure, you are on display to be talked about. And people are going to watch this and go, oh my God, Jason, you talk about me and I take it on the chin, literally on the chin every day. It's par for the course. Never going to stop talking about any of you or being critical of my opinion of you, because that is what I signed up to do. Now, I think we don't have to be mean. I think you can have a mix of being critical in both the positive and the reflective, but then you can also have compassion. This is a time where we have to give her compassion. I don't think we've ever been overly critical of Miss Tina anywhere, because she hasn't really done anything.
No one ever is.
I love how you're sharing this side of you, because again, this is the side, you know, you're Mama Tina to us too. You know, you are the mother to mother. And so we love to be able to be here for you and support you. She's doing a phenomenal book tour. She's going to sell the hell out these books. And I love how she shared on one show where she was talking about how Beyonce will call her and say, don't talk about this, don't talk about that. Specifically, she was talking about Beyonce's pregnancy. And when people were saying that during the Blue pregnancy, that was a fake pregnancy, remember she had to sit down with Piers Morgan where her stomach looked to have folded. But she said that it was just ludicrous that people thought that she would lie like that. Tina, I never thought that Beyonce wasn't pregnant. I don't think that people would fake a pregnancy, although I do know a girl right here in LA that did buy a fake prosthetic, had a whole baby shower, lied about it and everything, and y'all all know who she is, and I will give you a hint. We don't with her over here. And y'all go run and have a field day with that. I'm not saying no names because I don't want to get sued.
Allegedly.
But people in LA... TikTok, share this everywhere. Watch this. If you're in LA and you know somebody who faked their pregnancy, please post it on social media. Anyway, I don't think Beyonce did that though, but I love how Miss Tina was quick to say, like, how crazy is it that we would hide our own legacy? So thank you, Miss Tina, for opening up, because you're giving us a lot of your daughter's tea at the same time. Well, anyway, after Miss Tina got vulnerable about her bout with cancer, she went viral again for doing what she does best, and that's putting folks in their place. Now, again, in a recent interview with Entertainment Tonight, Miss Tina admitted that she wanted to go off about what I just told you about. People saying that Beyonce had faked her pregnancy. This is what she said during that interview. Listen.
Things she couldn't shield Beyonce from.
No heartbeat.
The miscarriages.
Yes.
You had to, though, comfort her in the background. Tell us about that.
Well, it was a hard time. That loss is so, it's devastating. But it's 10 times worse when the public is saying crazy stuff about you at the time and that you can't address it. And for me, it was one of the hardest times of my life, was when they started the rumor that B wasn't really pregnant, because she had gone through these miscarriages and finally she's like pregnant, and she didn't tell anybody till she got past the bad part, the hard parts of that, and knew that it was sticking. And then for someone to start that rumor, I wanted to go off on people and I wanted to set the record straight, and she would not allow me to talk. She was like, my kids are gonna have to read that one day, it's gonna blow over. But it didn't blow over. It just kept on going, and people just kept on hating and lying. For you to think that we would build prosthetics bigger and bigger and bigger and go through, for what? Like, it is calling my whole family and my whole family history a lie. It's calling me a lie, it's calling her dad a lie, it's calling everybody around her a liar. That we would all be a part of this conspiracy to trick the world. For what? It's crazy. It's so hard for me to keep my mouth closed, and sometimes I'm not successful, because I'll go on my Instagram and go on a little rant because I can't take it anymore. I get in trouble for doing that. She threatened me all the time. She's like, Mom, you cannot say anything. Like, don't entertain that ignorance, because my kids are gonna have to read that one day.
Well, everybody's going to see this. We love the fact that you were honest about that, and it's good to see that Beyonce, in the midst of being accused of faking a pregnancy, could be so measured and say, just like, let it go. Whereas most of us who are human want to defend ourselves. Do you ever feel like do you ever have a situation where you have to defend yourself?
No, I don't think so. I don't want to knock on some wood, because stuff's probably going to happen in the future. But yeah, no, I think sometimes you do feel like you have to defend yourself. We've talked about this when people have alleged allegations at you because you're such a public figure, and sometimes you want to get in front of it. But I think for Beyonce or Lady Gaga or Madonna, like, there's just constantly going to be something. So at a certain point, they just got to kind of sit back and just be like, whatever.
And I wish my mom was more like this. My mom is the Beyonce who's like, be quiet, it'll blow over, don't do anything. But like, with a mom like that, she doesn't need PR. She doesn't need nobody. Miss Tina be defending Beyonce down.
There is a transition when you go from being a private person to a public person, where when people start accusing you of things or calling you things or labeling you things, that you do want to defend your integrity or character. I remember one time, and you remember, I was so like, I wanted to fight everybody. But who do you fight? How do you fight the internet? Like, you can't fight the internet. I wanted to fight somebody so bad. I wanted to punch them right in the eye. I remember calling my attorneys. We're going to sue. And then what you have to realize is when you have a platform, when you are a public figure, this is why I say be transparent and be trustworthy at all times, because at the end of the day, if you put your own tea out there, can't nobody have that power over you. They can control whatever narrative they want, they can say whatever they want, but if you're putting your own content out there in your own narrative, people are going to say what they want to say anyway, but at least you'll have enough information out there for people to go, nah, that ain't true, that's not accurate. I struggle with it, but now I'm at a point in my life where, if it's something I can sue you over, I will, but if not, it's like, whatever. No, I will sue, because you should be sued.
Yeah, absolutely.
You all know that have been following me from day one. I had somebody do some crazy stuff online, and then I did something crazy to them, and then they sued me, and I sued them. I ended up winning. But it's like, when you want to go to war, we're gonna go to war, but I'm not gonna go to war unless I know I'm gonna win it. Because arguing with people who have a lot to say about you online, you're validating the bullshit. I don't think you should validate anybody's nonsense. But in this situation where you're the mom to the biggest superstar in the world, and all day long on every channel, even in Chinese, Spanish, in Hindu, every culture talking about your child, you would want to become unhinged, I think.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad that you're now becoming unhinged in your new book. Congratulations on that. And you look beautiful here. Okay, bye-bye. And I hope that you're healthy. I hope that everything's okay. We can't lose Mama Tina. We ain't ready for all that. All right. It's like every time, is this the week that every time we opened social media, it was some crisis?
Man, what? And then every story kept getting another crazier update.
Well, it does get crazier than this, but we're going to start with this crazy. Kevin Gates and LeBron James, two unlikely competitors in the sport of fighting, are at it. LeBron James and Savannah James are having to defend their marriage after rapper Kevin Gates made some real controversial
Allegedly.
allegations. He made some really wild comments about the high school sweethearts that have been together for over 2 decades. Now, if you missed what he said, listen.
This how the conversation came up. We were just looking at like couples and people in the league. And we was talking about how LeBron do the little handshake with Savannah.
Right.
And then I was like, maybe I know this shit that people don't notice. But I'm like, they was like talking about, what if you had LeBron money? I'm like, man, he one of the greatest players to ever play the game.
Right.
But I wouldn't want to trade places with him. And they was like, why not? Why you wouldn't want to play? I say, because I don't like the way Savannah look at LeBron. I like the way them white women look at LeBron. Like when soon as he walk out there, they just be like, oh. They be dicked out. But it's like I noticed when he go do the handshake with the main player on his team, which is that, it's like, you act like I'm bothering you, bitch. Like,
Right.
I'm the greatest player in the world, one of them. Like top 5, top 10, I'm one of them. And I'm in the playoffs. And you act like the warden of the jail. Like you came here to police me. Like you ain't, like, you not dicked out like these white women just dicked out about me in here. Like, so, like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, bro. Because when I've been around that dude just, his spirit so loving and giving, it hurt me. It hurt me to see that. Like, you done eject away from my partner, man. Don't do that, man. You dive on the floor behind that nigga, man. Dive on the floor behind him. But, you know, like, I know a lot of people gonna hate what I just said, but I'm gonna be honest, like, if everybody like me, then I'm pussy, so we can do whatever you want to do about it. I'm gonna die about everything I say, so I love LeBron, and I hate that for him, bro. I hate that he got to go through that. As a man, I hate that he got to go through that, bro. In the playoffs. In the fucking playoffs. Your main player act like it just, you have a look on your face like, I could be doing more. Like, what more? Like, I loved you for you. Like, when I met you, you look like Lamar Odom. Like, babe, don't laugh at that. I'm not trying to be funny, babe. Ain't nobody gonna fuck with you about that, you hear me? You can laugh if you want to. You gotta walk out the room. You ain't interrupting my thing. You already interrupted.
Kevin, why are you always ready to crash out? Like, I love Kevin Gates, this new Kevin Gates, but he, in the end, the old Kevin Gates, you always ready to crash out. You know, Kevin is one of those people I had met years ago that I was a little concerned about because he's a little unpredictable and edgy. And then we later ran into each other at the Super Bowl, and you know, we pieced it up and all that. Not that we had any issues before, but I mean, he's lost weight, he's healthier, he seems happier, and he has his Muslim wifey now, Brittany Renner. Both of y'all do a podcast together. I'm ready for it. Can you please fix your face because you have that Savannah look you talked about right now? But Kevin was ready to crash out. Now, let me show you what Kevin is referencing in terms of the handshake between LeBron and Savannah. Take a look. Okay. This is cute for them. All righty. All right. So listen. That's 20 years of marriage. That's their own personal affection. That's their own little thing. We don't know what that is. That could be them laughing off the haters. That could be they may have a whole inside situation. First, I want to address one thing. Savannah seems like a very solid woman in her marriage to LeBron. I know that there have been rumors about
Allegedly.
LeBron and the trick dick. That's all I'm going to say. LeBron and the trick dick. That's, you know, and I'm going to leave it there. And LeBron, you know why I'm going to leave it there. Okay? The trick dick. Now, Savannah. Sabrina, you in danger, girl. No. Savannah knows her husband. You can't be married to somebody for 20 years, through the rise of their career in the NBA, have all them kids by him, lay next to him every night. know where his dirty laundry is and all the bones and not know what's going on. Savannah James, we're not going to make Savannah to be some ditzy blonde, no shade towards you, Marjorie Taylor Greene. No, all shade towards you, but no shade towards blonde. And act like Savannah don't know her man. I didn't look at that clip. I'm going to play it again right here. Look at this clip right here of them shaking hands. I don't see this little cute moment, if you look at their faces, as being anything other than public affection in a jokingly plain way in front of the public. LeBron doesn't seem like the type of person that's going to go out and disrespect his whole black queen courtside for the world to see when he knows all the cameras are on him. You're not this famous as LeBron James and not be self-aware that cameras are always on you. I'm not even famous, and I know when I'm in public, I'm always telling people, be very aware. Somebody around here is filming something. So I know that if I have self-awareness, I know he does. The way you were talking about his wife, Kevin, I mean, this is not his girlfriend. You're over there in bed with your girlfriend. This is his wife of many years, 2 decades, his kid's mom. You have to I know what you're trying to do because you're articulating it the way that an N would, because you were being a whole N in that video. But you were doing it in a way that when it hits the internet for all of his fans and all of our fans to digest would look at it as being a little disrespectful. And then you were saying, I'll do whatever, I'm willing to die behind what I stand for. Why do we have to escalate from just criticizing a handshake to wanting to die? It doesn't have to be that extreme. And I know you see my clips online, so you can text me back. I texted you earlier to give you a heads up if you didn't call me, so whatever. But I think that was a bit extreme of a reaction. What do you think?
The level of self-deprecation you have to look at a moment of black joy like that. You can see that this was like you said, a couple who's been together for a very long time, who have a code in their relationship. They were both very happy in that moment, smiling at each other, and did their little secret handshake. And then to then slide in this anger and aggression towards black women who are powerful and who are settled in themselves is just crazy to me. And to compare those black women to submissive white women who are chasing a man with money, a black man with money, is infuriating. That's why I had that face on, because I'm like, how could you be this self-loathing towards black people? Like, that's crazy.
I would say, if anything, exactly that. And I would say I like how Savannah looks at him very regular, because the white girls are probably looking at him like drooling, and that's why Shannon Sharpe is in the situation that he's at.
Well, listen, we don't need to drag Shannon Sharpe into this. We'll talk about him in a second. But let's be clear. The rumors about you online and in the world, LeBron, is that you love white women and that you sleep with white women, allegedly, that you mess with white women. I have never personally seen it, but you know what I know. But the thing is that to Marina's point, when the women see him, white or otherwise, they see him as fans. Like he's a mega celebrity, superstar athlete. I mean, basketball player. He's one of the best to ever do it, as you acknowledged. So yes, people are going to feel a certain way. I don't think his wife of 20 years should act like a fan. She already she secured the bag. That is her man. She ain't got to do what all these other hoochies are trying to do to her man. She's already good. She has her own podcast, so she has her own voice. She's out there unhinged and unrestricted at times. Not unhinged in a bad way, but meaning just like she unfiltered. She's sharing her points of view from her life. And now that you're dating Brittany Renner, you're going to be on Basketball Wives.
Mashallah.
Because this is reality TV gold right here. If he gets on a reality show, him and Brittany Renner,
it's over with.
Meet the Renners. This show on Zeus, I would watch it. I would subscribe because Kevin Gates is a whole ass in with a personality, and he's just gold. Okay, or Love and Hip Hop. Go to Love and Hip Hop.
But she's like all wrapped up and quiet now.
She's not quiet. He's a Muslim.
Yeah, and she's like quiet, sitting behind him, giggling with her.
She's on the next season of Basketball Wives, which, by the way, I should watch what I say here because I'm hosting their event, and he's gonna be there. Listen, I love you. Rob was the one talking crazy. No, but I think it was a bit aggressive and a bit extreme. But he's also like that guy that's like a basketball player who loves his favorite basketball player who's like, yo, hold him down. Like, get out there and like wipe his shoes off, or I don't know what. I'm trying to defend you. Ain't no defending that. That was just nonsense. Well, anyway, Kevin's comparing that video to the clip of LeBron sitting on the Lakers front row with the president owner, Jeannie Buss, okay, and Linda Rambis. Take a look at this video. Now, these are not just two white girls. This is his boss and some other woman, but either way, these are not regular white women fans. The lady in the light purple, that is the owner. That is Jerry Buss's daughter, Jeannie. What?
Owner.
I own Hollywood Unlocked. That'll make you a slave.
I'm saying
there you go.
We've talked about this, but
you want to make everything racist.
He made it racist.
Who?
Kevin Gates.
How?
He said the black women should be more like the submissive, giggling white women, and they should be following behind him. And I'm saying,
but is that a broader opinion that he has of black women in general?
That's my point.
Yeah, but I think, and a lot of black men feel that way.
Exactly.
Which I think is crazy, because you shouldn't want to date someone based on how submissive they are to you. And I think all women should be able to stand up for themselves. That's a whole other topic. I'm just saying Jeannie Buss is not a typical fan white woman in the sense she owns the team.
She's not a groupie.
She's I don't know if she's a groupie. I'm just saying she ain't a groupie over LeBron. That's his boss. Well, LeBron James ended up seemingly responding to Kevin by uplifting his wife and union. Take a look. Kings don't concern themselves with the opinions of peasants. Where to next, Queen? Let's get it.
He called you a peasant. The peasantry of it all.
You call Kevin Gates a peasant? Well, Kevin saw that post and said, sometimes the truth hurts, but it heals. This is him responding to that. Look.
How y'all doing? You heard me? I'm on my way to have coffee. Coffee spelled backwards is E-fuck. And before we've had our coffee, we don't give E-fuck about anything. But I just want to say one thing. The truth hurts, but it heals. And Braun, I love you because you my nigga. And I already know she was just, you just gonna let him talk. Man, you had to, but behind closed doors, you good game. But anyway, look, long as you being celebrated, I don't care who don't like me. Long as you being celebrated, that's all I care about. Because you my nigga and I love you. So I don't care if I gotta fall out with somebody I love to get the results. We're gonna get the results. But if anybody need, I'm a life coach and a guru. Y'all 24 hours. You smile. You smile at that black man. You smile at him. Hey, because you know one thing. Today is Easter. You know what come with Easter, huh? They got a lot of bunnies hopping around out here. They about to take a trip on their favorite rocket ship. So they got some bunnies on it. But nah, though, I love y'all. If anybody else need life coaching advice and things of that nature, y'all go to my, I got a text line at the top of my bio, you heard me? Sometimes the truth hurts, but it heals. I love you all. This is Kevin Gates, and me and Brittany, we approve this message. I love.
Why you so obsessed with me? Is it giving that? It's giving obsession a little bit.
Especially because the day after they were courtside, Brittany and Kevin, to the Lakers game.
We got that video. Take a look.
Shit.
Well, again, I think that at this point, it's just giving a little bit too much, right? But again, you know how to go viral. You know how to get talked about because you went to the game and sat courtside to troll LeBron again. But at this point, it's over now. It should be over.
I hope so.
It should be over. Because look, at the end of the day, we don't know what's going on in their marriage, and they seem to love each other, and they're still together. And even if she did say, you better go out there and say something, that's his wife. He's supposed to say something. If somebody attacks Brittany, I'm sure you're going to come and say something. She may say it first, inshallah. But either way, y'all are going to have a lot to say. I just don't like this for black folks. I feel like right now with what we're going on in the country, we all need to be as united as possible. Kevin, if you out here in LA on your way to go get some coffee, was that him shading LA too? Because that's what we do in LA. We go get coffee.
I don't think so.
Maybe.
Rob don't like you because you black anyway.
No,
so.
that's not it. I just feel like there's just this intense energy right now of young black men disparaging black women, and it's kind of crazy to me that everybody's riding this train. Like, that's crazy.
I don't think he's intentionally disparaging black women. I think he's talking about this black man and his black marriage, and how he sees white women treating him when he comes outside. Clearly, he's riding around with a black woman. In fact, just to go on the record, I've never seen Kevin Gates with a white woman. He's typically with a woman of color. He ain't with them for too long, but he's with them. And there's a lot to be said about a lot of us making our black women baby moms. So we could go on and on and on. I just think it's a slippery slope. And at this point, I don't want to end up in a deposition. Like, I just want to leave it alone.
Please.
Okay?
I'll be quiet like his black woman.
Who?
Yeah, Brittany's super quiet. All she does is
She's quiet right now, but this is not her. This is not
Yeah.
her thing.
It's not her
Brittany
battle.
don't go online trolling
No.
LeBron James's wife. Why does she want any part of that?
She's
She
part
don't
of
know
it. She's
parts.
laughing at him saying negative stuff
She
about
is
LeBron and his
giggling
wife.
about her man being a damn fool, but I'm not. So now we're gonna make her.
He said this message was approved by me and Brittany,
He spoke for her.
and she didn't say anything.
He's
back.
speaking for LeBron's wife. He's speaking for her. He's speaking for everybody. And I'm speaking for Brittany. Brittany, I'm sorry that all these men are speaking for you. Brittany ain't had nothing to say.
That's why I'm like, I don't know if her giggling is a cosign or if it's her being like, I don't want to get into
Get off
this.
the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be either or. But I love Brittany.
Assalamu alaikum. Well, our favorite Crip is in the news, Blueface. This time he's losing other things besides his freedom. He's losing his girlfriend. I feel like we've said this so many times at this point. I think we just are filling the show with something to give you a break to run and grab a snack and then come on back. Hey, Wendy. Well, Chrisean and Blueface are back in the news after Chrisean moved on to her new boo. Blueface allegedly told his daddy to throw all her things out of his house. One of our last podcasts, we talked about Rock moving on to her new NCAA Baller Bay Titan, Figgy Newton. Take a look at them.
Don't do that because I'm going to go. Don't do that. You look pretty. That's your boo. I got boo in the video. Period, boo. It's a video, period.
I'm concerned for Titan because, first of all, Titan is cute, but clearly you look very young, and I think you're getting caught up in something that's not going to end well for you. She love you, Chrisean, but you know, straight shooter, pow pow. Chrisean, you're using this young man to make Blueface jealous because it's going to fan the flames of what you guys are going to do once he's out, and it's going to get you guys right back on track to keeping us distracted from the bigger things in life like tariffs and what Trump is doing to focus on the absolute lunacy of you guys being a thing. By the way, they're both on the backdrop of the Hollywood Unlocked Impact Awards because we support this craziness. Blueface clearly got word of the big news of her moving on with him, and he said he's done. He's done with the relationship, and according to Blue's daddy, Jonathan Porter Sr., his jailed son told him to go bag it all up and get it out my house, and look at what he did.
Blueface made that call. Said, hey, it's time to go. He ain't playing this time. Be dead serious. You gotta back it up. It's time to go.
First of all, the whole damn family needs to be behind bars because you're all a part of the plotations. Like, you're all a part of this circus. I ain't gonna lie. Just watching that clip made me miss Blueface even more. I missed the whole train wreck. By the way, we just had her sister Tasiki on the show, and Tasiki kind of implicated Chrisean in a murder.
Allegedly.
Right? Isn't that what the clip sounded like? This is where she talked about her alleged other baby daddy. Well, there was only one kid. It's his. But remember when there was that period he said it wasn't, another guy popped up and said it was his? Well, that guy ended up being murdered. We had Tasiki on the show, who she said Tasiki allegedly molested her. And now Tasiki suing her for the alleged molestation. Well, the plotation gets thicker because now that the alleged baby daddy, who's dead,
Allegedly.
died after he was supposed to, or before he was supposed to get a paternity test, and she said some things that created a pure out destruction moment right there on our show. Take a look at this clip. Okay, speaking of Chrisean's baby, there was a guy online from Baltimore who was claiming to be her baby dad. He ended up getting murdered, right?
Yes.
He really did get murdered? I mean, I saw that online. That was real?
Yes, that was.
And you knew, did you know
Rest
him?
in pieces. So yes, I fed that boy.
How did he end up getting murdered? Was he in the streets, in the stuff, or was that just a random thing?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I can't even speak on it. But if I was to speak on it, it don't look too good for certain people that we know. So I'm not gonna speak on it. Like,
Well, because it's just all, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I'm not the police, but I'll just leave it at that. Well, I'll say a little bit. He ran up on Chrisean when she was out in public.
He did, and then he had a paternity test coming up or something.
And then it was all online.
And then it was pow, pow, pow. No paternity test. I'm sorry. Rest in peace, his soul.
That's sad.
It's very sad, especially because I fed him. We had a little argument before. It's just like we were family. I'm gonna be honest. That little boy really loved her.
Did he?
Me being real, all this camera we back in the streets. We back around the way. That little boy loved her.
So they were a thing.
It was passionate, but it was giving cloudy.
It was.
And that's why I just don't care to speak on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could tell she did not want to talk about it, but I'm happy you asked.
I have a job to do. I'm a journalist. Well, Chrisean reacted to the video of Blue's dad throwing her things out. We're going back to that. And this is what she had to say about it.
I haven't told y'all anything, for real. I'm excited, tears of joy, but I kept it to myself. I mean, now everybody knows what's going on because I'm addressing the elephant in the room. The fact that I even have to do this, but I don't, but I do, because, like, is you cool? Everybody need to take a deep breath before they take their last breath, you know? Like, just breathe, for real. And, stop calling our phones. Like, Cameron's trying to do something. We getting harassed with threats, like real threats. Like, y'all think it's kiki, ha ha. It's not funny. Like, who said it? Oh, you know, Jason Lee. I watched something Jason Lee said. He was like, all jokes aside, like, is she okay? Like, y'all see a lot of stuff happening, but like, bro, I'm a human being, bro. Calm down. Like, they more excited about my blessing than I am. Like, I'm like, dang, I can barely see that shit. It's like that. Hey, I'm a player. But I'm telling you, your haters will see more than you can see about yourself. That should motivate you. But like, yeah, I don't know why they just be including the grandparents. Like, let grandparents be grandparents. You don't gotta do all that stuff. Thanks for packing my stuff up. That's okay. I haven't been to LA.
At this point, do we want to hear what she has to say? I mean, do we care? We care, but we don't.
I think we don't. I mean, we've seen this story played out over and over again. And I mean, the reason she left all her stuff over there anyway is because she was planning on going back.
Right, but isn't she on parole in Baltimore? She can't even leave right now.
I don't think she can come to California.
She can't.
Somebody could have picked that stuff up for her.
So when he get out, he's on parole. When she's there, she's on parole. Neither can, or they're on bond. They can't even be around each other anyway.
I just love how, you know, everyone has like a good side when they take photos. And now with her new boo and stuff, she's taking her non-Blueface tattoo side only to like hide. Which I just wish she never did that. It's a lot of things.
Didn't he tattoo her on his face?
Mm-mm.
Or he tattooed. He gained some weight and everything, right? That boy's.
He tattooed God knows what. It looked like a crossword puzzle on his face.
Well, I mean, look, you're both not good for each other whatsoever. And I'm not saying that because of any personal feelings that he's going to make y'all think I got, because I am not. I am a vice mayor of a city, of the 11th largest city in California. And I'm not wasting my time with this. But what I will say is that we're tired of this. We are tired. We want to see it because it's entertaining. But then again, we got Nicki and Jello now, right? Well, either way, Blueface's mother, Karlissa Saffold, who we know has nothing better to do than wait to jump in one of their fights, she reacted to Chrisean's last breath. And this is what she said. Look, when she said everybody needs to take a deep breath before they take their last breath, this was a threat. She said this is a violation of probation. She went on to say this. Take a look. Jonathan did not tell his father to record shit. His father probably recorded so he don't get blamed for someone saying he threw it out, being weird to her. What the F would my son want it recorded? Are y'all cool? Karlissa, you just wanted to say something. Do we care that this relationship is ending again?
No, because it's gonna start up again, and then the parents are gonna be throwing stuff out again, and then they're gonna be fighting on the internet again, and then they're gonna come on the Jason Lee show again.
Can you imagine a world where we have Trump all day and Blueface and Chrisean all day, in the midst of the baddies all day?
But you said you thought they were gonna get back together again.
Who?
Chrisean and Blue.
Are they not together? I think
don't
Chrisean.
think so. I think this is it.
I think that once you get talked to, okay, I'll use me as an example. When you're on Love and Hip Hop and that show is airing, you're being talked about all day long. The reruns are happening. It's a lot of activity. You get addicted to that energy. When it goes away, you feel like a loser. Okay, I'll give you an example. Gagging with Jason Lee. Those of you who are around, you remember that time. I was viral all day long. So now that I'm not viral all day, every day, it's not that I can't go viral because I could say something right now to burn this good old internet down, but I'm not going to. You miss that feeling. Even though you know, like I've grown out of wanting to go viral. Now I go viral for just being me. But when you're in it and you're in going viral, your goal is to go viral. It's like a drug. When you don't have that dopamine hit, you go look for it and you got to go viral. I think they're preparing for him to come home. She don't know if she's going home or not. She got a lot going on. He got a lot going on. So let's just stir the pot again. That boy, Tyshawn, what's his name? Titan. Ain't no tighten enough. You better tighten it up because when Blue come home, you out of there. I don't care how good you look, your little hair, that hair gonna get them edges gonna be snatched back when King Crip comes home because he's going to pull his baddie back into the situation. She's not going anywhere. She's tied to this man for life. She can go sit down with 10 pastors and 20 Jesus Christ Hail Marys. She's still going to go back to... Am I lying?
No, look, my brain goes like this. He had a little show. She got her tooth knocked out. They broke up. Then they got back together. Then the sex tape got leaked. Then they broke up. Then they got back together. And then she got pregnant with him. Then they broke up and got back together. Then they both went to prison and broke up. Then she became best friends with
He
the
went
other
back with the baby mom.
together.
The baby mom, then her and the baby mom started hanging out, going to the bank. I was in the bank talking to the banker, and they were FaceTiming me in the car together. Like, it's a zoo. And the circus master's on his way home, and all the pets gonna get out the cages.
But I do think the one person who is done is Jaden. I don't see Jaden like entering this long term.
Snip like a Barbie.
Nope.
Have we?
I see her being with a cute stud and going off in the sunset.
She already did that and it came back too.
I see her over it. She's just co-parenting.
1, 2, Blues coming for you. 3, 4. Y'all all gonna be back for more. It is.
Okay,
I'm
Boris.
telling you, the show that we all want to see on the Zeus Network, Lemuel, and I better get my mother effing credit and my money.
Oh my God.
Is Crazy in Love 2. TWO or TOO. All of them together in one house, coexisting with the little son
like
saying,
sister wives.
Crazy in Love 2.
And they raising all the kids together. Yeah.
The little kid flipping off Jaden, her behind her back, her putting her tooth in for interviews. Tasiki living in the back house. Tasiki, I see it all. And Karlissa being the babysitter. I would pay to watch that.
I would probably get a subscription at this point.
I'm not getting that. I'm unsubscribing.
Crazy in Love 2 starring Blue, Jaden, Chrisean, Tasiki, Karlissa Sappho, and all the children.
You know where I'm at?
Wait. I'm paying for that.
No.
And I'm going to be the executive producer.
Because it just looks like deja vu. I want to be like, been there, done that. Because I feel like we've already seen it all.
We haven't seen that.
They're going to be together, break up, be together, break
and
up.
the dad, too. The dad got to live in the house.
With
the
his
dad
mohawk?
and it gets better, right?
And his wife. He just got married. Remember in Vegas.
And her boyfriend. All in the house together. And then Whack, he's the counselor who pops up for Blues Clues. He got to have a Blues Clues conversation. I just gave you the whole show.
Yeah.
And they can.
By
they
the
can
way,
record
I want to
music
create a reality show with Roland Ray and Shamar.
Yep.
Oh God.
I want nothing more.
I want nothing to do with that. Let's move on. All right. Well, look. Well, put it back. I ain't done. We miss you, Blue. Come home soon. Bye. Right.
We still have all our free Blue merch. So what?
Mm-hmm.
Listen. Shay, I'm going to tell you right now, everybody has been asking me to talk about you, want me to just attack you and have all. I'm not going to attack you because I know right now, you are in so much agony because life is coming so fast at you, pause, that you don't know what to do. And I know you're of a particular age where you can have a stroke in response to some of this madness. And I don't want to be the thing that pushes you off the ledge. And look, I'm just one voice in a sea of many voices that you probably want to choke out right now.
I see what you did there.
But I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to do my job. Stand down. Okay, now first let me just set this up. Shannon Sharpe, you know him as a podcaster because he did an interview with Cat Williams that went viral, gave him millions and millions of views, and almost created his podcast as an overnight success. But what I know about the good Lord and the good Beyonce internet is that nothing that comes fast stays. And everything worth having. Wait, sorry. See, Rob, you're being nasty.
That wasn't just me. She heard it too.
Well, I'm not being sexual. We're going to get to that. Oh, freak. Nothing worth having comes easy. And things that that last long, it takes time to build. The other thing is, in the world of online media, I have more respect for people like me who built something from scratch, from the ground up, not that does it on the Disney dollar and builds a whole brand in corporate America and then transitions. Now, there's two ways of doing it because Don Lemon's doing that now, and I respect Don for doing what he's doing and how he's doing it, but it came out of him being betrayed by the corporate people, not him wanting to come and grab the culture after he got tired of working with the white man, Skip Bayless. Now, he had that interview that went viral, and he turned into a shady little queen, blocking all the podcasters he don't like and side-eyeing, da-da-da-da-da. And this is what I love about me. I'm talking about me now because I'm gloating. That's what this is called, gloating. Not gloating in his misery. I'm just gloating at my success because I have taken so many hits on the chin, not sexually. See, Shannon, you have fucked up my whole conversation because everything we say during this segment is going to be looked through the lens of some old freak shit.
No, dude.
Humping on Michelle on camera. I'm coming for you. Not like that. Not the way you want me to, sis. But the thing about me that I love is that, yeah, you call me messy because I put all my truth out there. I put it on display. Everything I've said so far, it's been in the minds of all you sick people who ran over here to watch what I had to say and asked for the time code to get right there. I put my stuff out there to be judged, and you guys attack me, and I always lay in my bed at night with the covers pulled over my eyes and saying to Rob, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Well, I'm not doing anything wrong. And now we're going to find out, what did you do wrong? What did you do to make this little 19-year-old girl that you've been allegedly humping on,
Allegedly,
and choking out and threatening? What did you do? And why are we all up in arms? Because we see that you're just a big old nasty freak with leotards that go all the way up your ass. And then you get out the car built like that, pointing fingers at me, blocking me. Why? Because I showed up as a critic. Well, I started as a critic. You, my friend, started out as an NFL legend who's now trending. And this time, Shannon, Mr. Sharpe, you're not just trending for a pass or trending. Are you going to zoom the thing up? You're not just trending for a pass or trending over a clip. You're trending over something that's really controversial. Because now that you work at ESPN, and I'm calling out ESPN, a part of the Disney company, Disney with little kids, Disney, the rides at the Disneyland, Disney theme park, Disney Orlando, Disney, Mickey and Minnie and all the little Disney things, they're all a part of the employer that employs this big old freak. Well, this 56-year-old Shay is being sued for $50 million by a 22-year-old woman who at the time was 19 years old when he wanted to put his arms around her throat and choke her out. She's accusing him of rape and other disturbing acts. Now, the woman who's filing as Jane Doe has been identified as the OnlyFans model, Gabriella Gabby Zuniga, who goes by Carly on OnlyFans. Let me show you a picture of Carly. Okay, this is Carly. Look back at it. Well, Shay, according to reports, you were looking back at that thing. And here's the deal, right? What's different than you and Diddy? What's different? That you use poppers on the weekend and allegedly when you with this girl?
Allegedly.
But then again, Safari uses poppers, so it's not a gay or anything. Anyway, I don't want to pull Safari into this. What I will pull into this is that Shay, you, my friend, who still works over there at ESPN, which is a part of the Disney company, Disney, Mickey, Minnie, all those things, Disney, ABC. According to reports, Shannon's accuser filed a 13-page lawsuit in Nevada State Court, and now she's being represented by Houston attorney Tony Busby. Now, Tony, we're going to get back to you because after what you did to Jay-Z, I don't even know if all this makes sense because it's all probably a scam anyway. But here we are, and I'm reveling in it, so I'm going to talk about it. Well, Tony, he filed similar claims against Diddy and Jay-Z, and remember, and this most notably, Jay-Z was able to get those cases dropped. Well, Shannon's accuser is claiming that she met him in 2023 at a gym in LA where she was 20 and he was 54. Now, she alleges that he assaulted her, sexually assaulted her, and emotionally tormented her throughout what she described as a rocky consensual relationship that ended this year. She says that when she said no, Shannon did not stop. Now, the civil suit goes on to accuse him of being manipulative and controlling and even repeatedly threatening to brutally choke and violently slap the woman. In her lawsuit, she also made it clear that she is not the same woman who Shannon accidentally went live with while he was humping on her last September. That was Michelle. But that incident is what finally pushed her to cut things off, even though she says Shannon just wouldn't let go. Now, after the news broke, Shannon's lawyer condemned the lawsuit, claiming that his client's accuser had a consensual relationship that ended on January 2nd, 2025, one day after she allegedly asked for $25,000 per cheek. And the lawyer is saying that the alleged text proves that Gabby and Busby are attempting to extort Shannon out of millions of dollars over usual or unusual sexual acts like BDSM that the OnlyFans model allegedly asked Shannon to perform. Before I even get into all the evidence, let me say this. Shannon, I've been talking about being a freak for years. I talked about the type of guys I like. I talked about what turns me on. I talk about the acts I've done. I've talked about it all. So if anything was to ever surface from any one of my hoes, and I don't have any, but say if my old ones would have come up with something, they've already heard it. You want to come off as a polished brand because you work for Disney, ESPN, and all the other houses that Mickey and Minnie have funded over the years. And because of that, we don't know much about you other than you was humping on Michelle on live on accident and then came and tried to sell libido pins to make your penis stay harder. Am I lying so far? Okay. Now, not that we want to know a visual what your penile erection or dysrection or reflection looks like. What we now learn is that you were 55 and you were in a relationship allegedly with this 20-year-old woman. Now, this is where you should have learned from Diddy. Diddy said he didn't beat Cassie, and then the video came out, and then he had to apologize, and then he was sucked into a wrong choice words situation.
God.
Well, let me go back and show you some of the alleged texts, and I'm gonna say allegedly, between Shannon and the accuser. Take a look. I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're effing me. This is what she said to him. I know you missed this big juicy ass, $25,000 for each cheek. Only if you put that big baby gravy in me, then I can do whatever I want to. What?
I think she
Baby gravy, like.
I think she meant you can do whatever you want to me.
What's baby gravy?
Jeez.
Ugh. Yeah. And then she said, I want to put my tongue in your asshole and then marry you. That's my daddy. What?
F-U-C-K.
That's my daddy F. I want you to put a big black baby in me. You better crave it because you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me. Is there more? From Gabby to whoever. But I cried when you left because I begged you to put a condom on and you put it in my ass and you didn't listen. I don't care what our history is. No means no, Shannon. And then he said, can I call you later? I I want like some hardcore BDSM action though. I want to be abused, daddy. I want you to tie me up like this and abuse me, daddy. Okay, well, listen. First, let me say that they had a consensual relationship despite the 35 age difference. And again, there are white men who have white girls with bigger age differences. So I'm not going to age shame them on that. So let me put that there. I'm going to try to be as fair as possible. Some people, you have the right to feel however you want about the age difference. And I understand the weirdness for some and others. I understand the mental health difference too and the control over a young person. I get all that. So I'm not even going to go there with you. You feel however you want about that, but I'm not going to attack him on that. Then I also understand it appeared to be a consensual relationship where they were both into some weird freaky shit, allegedly.
Allegedly.
But then he tried to stick it in the booty because that's what he likes.
Oh. I thought he just didn't want a kid.
No, he wanted to stick it in her butt because the butt feels different than he wanted the badussy, okay? And he stuck it where she didn't want it, and she called him out on it, allegedly.
Allegedly.
And now, this is why a lot of you men just need to be with the men that you want to be with. You know what I mean? And stop forcing these young women to go through these anal experiences that they don't want to because you really just want that lady boy or that boy who can give you that butt whenever you want it. But you don't want to get the butt because Disney don't want you to see you with the butt, although Disney sees the other men with the butt.
Allegedly.
So you stuck it in her butt from what she said and she didn't want it. But was that the first trap she put you in? I don't know because I'm not there. I wasn't around. But you knew that was coming because she asked you, she tried to settle, but you tried to settle for $10 million. Anyway, we're going to get to that in a minute. Shannon's accuser now, after all the accusations came out, released an audio of Shannon threatening her and claiming he's gonna effing choke her. Don't believe me? Hiding under a rock? Didn't hear it? Listen.
So what, Gabby?
Well, you're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabby.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah, I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Okay, so let's just break here. What do we do with all this information? I do have an issue with her secretly recording him, and if it's in California, it's illegal. Unless she's in New York and it's not illegal, or she's in Atlanta. One party has to be there. I already know that because I secretly recorded an attorney who tried Tiffany Haddish once and put that out. One could say she's recording him because she's been abused and she's afraid for her life. But another person could say she's clearly extorting him. Let's take a break here and unpack, pause, all of this.
First of all, I just want to apologize on behalf of all the other white women in the world. This is not a fair representation on my species. It's embarrassing. It's a setup. And I do believe she was who even talks? Like, kinky talk is one thing, but they sound like they're reading a script.
She's
like
20.
Barely. She was 19.
But she's playing.
But she's only, like, she looks grown, acts grown.
She's 20. See, we can't
it doesn't matter.
We can't say a rape victim looks a certain way or an assault victim looks a certain way. You can be a prostitute and be raped, right?
Yeah, but you could be a finesser and claim rape too.
And this is my perspective of it all. She is texting this man about her affinity for being choked. I want you to put a collar on me. I want you to choke me. She's texting this man about coming in her multiple times. I want you to put a big black baby in me. I want you to do this. And then on the flip side, when she gets the thing, she then turns it around and says, oh, I begged for a condom. I told you I didn't want your coming. Your whole text conversation. But I do agree. If you say no, it means no.
Hold on. You can. But sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't.
No, but this
she don't reserve the right to decide when she wants to swallow or not.
She does, and I'm saying, please, I want to make sure I don't sound like I'm supporting somebody who's raping somebody.
That's what it started to sound like to me.
Well, that's not what I'm doing. What I'm saying is this also from the viewpoint of whoever's probably going to represent him, it does look like she's finessing him because then she turns around and then she says, I don't want to be
choked.
choked. But you keep telling the man you want to be choked. But then she, in a joking tone on the phone, is like, oh, he's reverting back to the big black man with a small black woman, because she always refers to him as a big black man or the big black baby. Like he's using the language she provided to him. So that's
and
what I'm
you
saying.
can tell she just
really
saw him as a
manipulative.
trick, because even to put in the text like 25,000 per cheek, like you clearly just see him as an ATM to just smash and get paid.
This is why celebrities need to be careful who they lay with.
But this is just dumb.
Here's the deal. Let me unpack a lot of what I heard, because I hear us shaming a potential victim. That's what I heard. I could be wrong. You can correct me. Whether she's a OnlyFans, the only reason why we know she's an OnlyFans creator is either A, somebody dug it up, or B, they're trying to tarnish her image to make us all in the court of public opinion, which is the court he's in right now because he ain't made it to the other court yet, is to judge her and say it's her fault this happened, it's a scam, she's not worthy of redemption. It's the same thing Kanye did to his assistant, who we knew, Lauren, who's not anything like what they've tried to describe her. She then later came out and said Ye was trying to have sex acts, masturbating in front of her, and all these other allegations.
Allegedly.
Or whatever, all this weird shit. Now we live in the world of Diddygate, where Diddy got 1,000 dildos and 1,000 bottles of lube, and it's making everybody think that everybody in Hollywood, including us, are with this weird shit when we're not. You can be a freak. I'm a freak. He's a freak. I don't want to know. People can be freak. Being freaky is not a bad thing. That is a choice thing. I'm not into bondage, tie me up, choke me, do all the weird stuff. You choke me, I might shoot you because I think you're trying to kill me. I don't do the weird stuff like that. That said, I've been in situations where I'm involved with somebody and they say, I don't want to have sex. You can say, come on, I really want to, because you may really want to. But at the end of the day, they have the right to say no.
Absolutely.
I've also been in situations where somebody may want to do something and then they feel bad after doing something. They're like, I shouldn't have did this or whatever because they experimented on something. But that doesn't make me the bad person for you making a choice. You chose to do something you didn't want to do. But I understand how it can get weird and all this and that. I get it. But how do we get here? Like, when you are a public figure and you know you got money or platform, especially one if you work for the Mickey Mouse company, you don't want somebody, a young person, a kid, a 20, or not kid, but a 20-year-old. See how I even slipped up and said, not a kid, because she's not a kid. She's 20-year-old, grown adult. You don't want to be in a situation where they can embarrass you or whatever, because we know how they try it, right? Because, oh, mama embarrassed her, I'm going to attack her, whatever. So unless you're willing to burn the world of the internet down like me, you're going to be in a position where you can be blackmailed. But is that this? Because in the email where they're going back and forth over the big black baby or the text message or whatever, you can still want to do all that and talk freaky. And some people like to be talked to nasty, but then still turn around and do the weird shit that she's saying. There's a possibility. We don't know. But here's the problem that I have. Why are we treating him different? Why is he not fired from the Disney company or suspended from the Disney company when Diddy's in jail waiting prison terms and all this and that? The reason why we hate Diddy is because we saw him beat Cassie. Well, now we heard him say, I will choke you. I might do it in public. We heard it. Are we saying it's BDSM role playing, or was that a threat to kill his girl?
I don't think I think this is apples and oranges when it comes to him and Diddy. It's completely different. And one, yes, I think the Diddy thing is so dramatic because he was like, I didn't touch that woman. I would never, she's lying. And then the video came out. And then when the video came out, he continued to try and say, oh, this never happened, that never. Then all the other stuff came out of him recording people and all that. Yeah. So I'm saying that it's a different level of accusation for him. This, and we talked about this before too. I don't think that companies should rush to judgment and cancel black celebrities. They have to slow down on that, right?
I think that cancel culture, who I've said before, I'm anti-cancel culture. Do I want to see him canceled over this situation? Not necessarily until he goes through his process. But here's the deal. Apply it the same way. Apply it the same way. The reason why they are not canceling him right now, and let me be very clear, and I'm going to say this, and you could go viral all you want, because his big black ass makes these white folks a whole lot of money. And they don't want to lose the money just yet until they start hitting the pockets of them advertisers. Pull up all the advertisers. Who advertises for ESPN? Because that's when they going to say, Now, he did say at the time we filmed that he's taking a step back. Read the statement, our legal expert, please. What does it say?
Quotes. Hold, please. Let me get.
Okay, go ahead. What?
Shannon Sharpe. My statement is found here, and this is true. The relationship in question was 100% consensual. At this juncture, I am electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties. I will be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. I plan to return to ESPN at the start of NFL preseason. I sincerely appreciate the overwhelming and ongoing support I have received from my family, fans, friends, and colleagues. Shannon Sharpe.
Let me translate to you what the Mickey Mouse people said to him, because this is why all of y'all that are slave to all these corporate brands got to deal with. Now I'm slave to the vice mayorship, ship. So I understand it. When you have other obligations, that puts more restrictions on your ability to express yourself the way you want to. So that's the summary of kind of the situation he's in. So I get it. Let me tell you what happened. They came to him and said, nah, you done effed up. You got to go. We're going to give you enough time to get out of here while we got to get you up out of here because you're going to mess up the money while we look into things. That'll get, hopefully by NFL's preseason start, that'll give us enough time to work through this, but you got to go clean it up. That's what they told him. And guess what? That's what they should have did. That's what they should have did. Because you got to be consistent. You snatch Diddy away from his daughters. Please, the way you, don't shake your head, because the way you shamed Diddy, talked about him up here, all this and that, we all agree that Diddy should be held accountable. But Diddy gave Cassie $20 million to go away after he allegedly beat her. She signed the deal and took the cash, and then then the video dropped after he paid $50,000 to stop it from coming out, which it should have came out because we should have been able to see who he is. We should be able to see who all these freaks are. We should be able to see who his big old freak sticking his Tootsie Roll in that little white girl's butthole after she allegedly said not to.
Allegedly.
We need to see it all. And the Disney company said, we don't want your Tootsie Roll and white buttholes over here. And until we can clear it up, get up out of here. And that's what they did. He didn't elect. He said it to save himself from embarrassment. But this is what happens when, and all of you better take a look at this. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm talking to everybody out there. Don't get in the business of going viral. When you get in the business of going viral, he sat down with Cat Williams, letting out everybody else's dirty laundry, knowing that his Tide Pods was missing. That's what happens to you when you do it. I look forward to the day where somebody tries me, and those who've been around long enough have seen them try me. And what do? I destroy them on sight. As soon as they come with their rifle, I got my snipers ready to go. And hold on a second, I'm gonna do it just for the sake of effect. All of them. Because when you are in this game, Mr. Shannon, you got to be prepared for this. You got to be prepared to take them on, and you got to be able to look at Mickey Mouse and say, look, this is what I'm getting into. You better ride or die. Mickey and Minnie said, nope, not on our watch. We're going to take our little mouse ears and we get up out of here. They took the 7 little doors. They woke up Snow White and they went and they got the hell out. Cinderella, they got her pumpkin patch and they got the hell out. Why? Because nobody's going to stand by you when you're putting your tutu roll up in the little white thing.
That's the key. And look,
but that goes back to the importance of ownership.
Right. But again, and I agree on that front. I do agree that everybody should be held to account if they commit a crime. If you're out here raping women, you need to be held to account. But I do think that there's a level of accountability that's held over Black men, especially when the accuser is a young, pretty white girl. For example, like we said, Jay-Z, they didn't hold him to account in the same way. But if this had been a Black girl, I don't think he would have been asked to step down. But I do think he should be held accountable if he's
now this is what you Black people do, and I love you Black people. I'm so Black, I
Jonathan
love it.
Majors.
No. Yes, but if Max and Marina get in a fight, she ain't gonna go say he raped her. She ain't gonna go say he did it. We're not gonna label all interracial relationships as being one that is rooted in preparing to take a nigga out anytime they don't put the dick in the right hole. We're not doing that. Let me just tell you my issue. Let me tell you my issue. My issue is that us as Black people don't organize enough to make sure that the price that you will pay for destroying one of us is so hefty that you think twice about it. That's number one. Number two, we don't unify as a community enough for us to even feel safe around each other, because this big old Black hating ass hated on us too because he threatened by us having an opinion. Now the whole world watching Mickey Mouse walk you out the gates of Walt Disney because you allegedly put your Tootsie Roll in the white honey bun. Now let me say this. He sat there with Cat Williams and gave Cat a platform to attack every single successful black man. He did the dirty work of allowing them. We don't ever have we ever had a show where we've had an individual come on and destroy every black excellent person in our, no, we never have.
I agree.
If Monique, the comedian who was supposed to come on our show, the last podcast, was to come on my show, she would have to answer to telling Oprah to suck her dick, to attacking Tyler Perry, who's done a lot for, she would have to answer for all that. You didn't want to get up and get your daddy and go to Cannes and promote a film that you got an Oscar for, and you call that slave labor. That was an honor. But you attacked all these excellent black people and had the culture turn against Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey. But she won't come on the show because she don't want to face the music. He allowed Cat Williams to sit up there and he acted like the Green Mile. He sat there and let that man tear every excellent person down in our culture for clicks. And guess what? Now, like Dorothy with the little red heels, we clicking and your ass is disappearing. Because that's what happens when you try to put your Tootsie Roll and your Tootsie Pop in the little white honey bun. And look, I'm not going to feel sorry for him. Because even with these stupid ass lenses, he could have saw this coming. He knew the shakedown was coming because he knew that he was putting the popper in the popper hole.
Allegedly.
He didn't take a step back on his own because he wanted to.
I agree.
They pushed him out.
100%.
The sex tape threat, which they say is going to come
But
out.
this is why we all have to stop building things for all these other people that we don't own.
I agree. I completely agree. And that's why I 100% am on that same train with you about him giving a platform. We talked about that too when we talked about Cat Williams. I did not like how he tried to tear down every A-list black celebrity by putting out some kind of messy gossip about them. I thought that was a terrible thing to do. And then at the same time, he's going home and paying allegedly $25,000 per cheek for a white sex worker. There's no shame in sex work either. I'm not shaming sex workers, but I am saying I don't like that he platformed somebody destroying black legends and at the same time is allowing this kind of correspondence to happen with a person who clearly is recording things that you say to them by sending it in email and text.
Can I tell you something? Floyd Mayweather taught me something a long time ago, and it was not even around weird shit. It's just around like, very rarely will Floyd say, call me on the phone. He doesn't talk on the phone. He FaceTimes. I want to see who in the room. And even with that, you can still have a second phone and film and that's why when I'm on the phone, if I feel the energy go left because trust me, and I'm going to tell y'all straight up because I have another book coming. I'm going to put it all in the book. People have tried to extort me. People have tried, you're my friend. People have tried the weird shit. You date somebody, the other day I'm talking to somebody I'm talking to, not even really talking to, we just sexually messing around. This person said, can you buy me a car? Who says that? This was just randomly like, I want a car. You never know how people see you when you just see you as you. But Shannon, you know better. You've been in the NFL. You work for Disney. You go through Disney. I'm sure they have sexual harassment training, all that. You making all this money. You humped on Michelle on live who accidentally humps and then goes live? You had to go live to hump. And then you came out promoting your sex pills. Once you veered off from Disney, NFL, culture, and start getting into the whole sex game, that's when all your sexcapades start happening. And now look, here you are. Now, on one hand, if you're caught up on the dopamine hit of going viral, this is going to feel like you're doing the right thing because now you're being talked about if you're drunk off your own fame. I'm not drunk off my fame. I don't want to be talked about every day. But I know what it feels like to go viral and be in that thing of having to go viral all the time. So I don't know. I'm not going to say, because I don't believe in cancel culture. So I don't even want to say, even with Diddy, even in all the weird accusations and in whatever, I don't want to say you did or didn't do it. You was fucking on the little 20-year-old. You agree to that, which there's no crime there. It can be weird to some or we're not weird to others. I'm not even going to judge you for that. Okay? But there's more. There's more.
There's always more.
Shannon addressed the whole shakedown. Let me show you the video.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues.
Wait, back up. Anytime you start like this, it's guilty. I don't care. I'm a body language expert. Anytime you start like this, Rob, if you ever see me go, guys.
A defensive question.
You know, somebody slid you the paper to read. An attorney said, a publicist, an attorney went through it. They approved it. Nigga gonna say that. And this is what we got. Go.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues.
Look at the Riz. It's in the Riz. I cannot go for it. Okay. I want everybody to look at his head, his eyes. Look at the eyes. Look at his. He's reading from a teleprompter. And this is why I don't have glasses on. Because guess what? I'm reading from one too. Go.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do.
You can look at that any way you want to, the hands and all that. I'm not, I don't want to become the court of public opinion because that is what I'm against. But I have to put all the pieces together. Now, OnlyFans girl, I forgot what's her name, Gabby? Gabby. It don't make it any better that you got Tony Busby. That right there makes everything I say questionable because he is somebody who just went after the biggest rapper in the world and lost. This is where I will say, Jay-Z, what you did and how you came out, even from the beginning, we said it. The way Jay came out straight out with the 20-page statement being very clear, like, I'm about to ride on you. And and he did it. He handled Tony, but he handed him his ass and his nuts. Take it with you. The difference is Tony didn't have no evidence, and we don't know everything he has because they have been releasing clips. And in Shannon's statement, did you hear what he said? In case you missed it, play it back one more time.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about.
Why you bring up Jay-Z? Why bring Jay-Z into? Why even bring Jay-Z's name into it? We all know who Tony Busby is. We all know what he did. Jay-Z and Beyonce don't want to see their kids looking about your Tootsie Pop and her honey bun. Leave them alone. They fought their fight. They went after Tony. That case is done. We don't even talk about it no more. But now we're talking about it because of you. Why bring Jay-Z into it? To conflate your innocence with theirs so you can seem like you've been lumped in something else? You also mentioned about a 30-second sex tape. What's on that sex tape? Now we all want to see it. The price just went up. You're out here making sex tapes. You work for Mickey and Minnie. Why would you be? I have a video that I just texted somebody of me kissing them. That's the most you're gonna get from me. You ain't getting no sex tape. I don't even let you bring phones in my bedroom because that's the amount of thinking that has to go into what you're doing. A lot of us think that this is all coming out to avoid all the gay rumors because everybody thinks that you tooting and booting. Come on now. Am I lying? Have you heard that?
Of course I've heard it.
Have you heard it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Hold on. Where's it at?
Yes.
We put it all out there now. So, you know, do we think you were humping on Michelle on the live accidentally, allegedly, because you wanted us to think that you were really going to Pound Town? Nah, we thought you was doing that to sell sex pills and to take people off your ass because you was out giving up your ass. That's what the people said. I ain't say nothing about that. I don't think you're gay. I don't know if you're gay. I don't want you to be gay. Stay over there with the weird shit. But now you brought Jay-Z into it. Now here we are talking about Jay-Z. Beyonce is somewhere preparing for Cowtown with the Cowboy Carter tour, and you now are disturbing her vacation or her rehearsal because she got to come over here and see what you did to Gabby. Am I wrong? Tell me, I could be wrong. Am I wrong?
No, like I think no, like it's very confusing, and I think he really.
What part? Let's start. We have time. Where are we confused?
No, I'm saying it's very confusing to me that he allowed this to happen because I do think there were some telltale signs throughout this whole process.
Telltale after she tried putting the butt. See?
Yeah, how does somebody have a whole 10-minute sex tape of you that you don't have a copy of?
Well, allegedly it's 30 minutes. The full thing is 30.
But like again, why are you allowing someone to record you on their device with you having sex, and you're the person who has everything to lose in this circumstance? And like that's what I'm saying. Like there's too much that was given away, and I'm very confused as to how you didn't see the signs. Like if somebody emails you and says, "I didn't give you consent to put it in my butt," like that, just that sentence, like that's all you email me.
Even her writing like no means no, Shannon. I'm like, clearly it's a setup, and you just walk into
No,
the
we're
trap.
not going. We're
I'm
going to
not
say
again,
allegedly, and we're not going to shame alleged victims because what we're doing right now is what we're saying shouldn't happen to him. We're putting her through a public trial in a court of public opinion.
Again, I'm not saying I'm not saying she was not a victim. What I'm saying is for him to be in this situation when there were so many opportunities for him to go, this is probably going in a direction that I don't need to be attached to. And he continued to do it, even via text. Like it's crazy to me that he put himself in this situation. It's crazy.
I think so too. To me, it's just like you said earlier, this is an NFL like hall. I don't know if he's a Hall of Fame or something. Like he's really high up there in NFL honors. He's a host. He has a lot to lose. To waste it over a girl who was an OnlyFans girl, it's like if it was like a relationship.
Okay, now we're shaming her.
It's not shaming.
Hold on.
It's not shaming.
Okay, listen.
It's just weird. It's weird.
When you're an OnlyFans creator, you're considered a sex worker because it's sex work. Those people still have value too.
Yes.
And those people can still be victims of assault.
100%.
Matter of fact, a lot of prostitutes are victims of assaults because nobody's going to believe them, just like you're shaming her for being a OnlyFans creator.
Oh, not shame.
You're taking away her credibility. She could be first of all, if she's 20 years old and doing OnlyFans, here's where I'm going to judge. Somehow she was led there. Somehow she got lost, or that was what she chose. I don't know her history. And the phone calls do sound kind of weird, sketchy. Like why are you filming him so much? Why? But I also understand me. There have been times where I've been around a weirdo, and I'm like, you know what? I need a friend here, or you be there, or Lee will be there, or Andrew will be around, or I'll make sure we only spend time in public spaces with cameras. Why? Because shit like this. You just never really know when people are on weird shit. Nowadays, you can sit down at dinner and somebody can put their phone down and you're being recorded.
Yep.
So I never say anything that I'm afraid is going to come out later. The other night we had a dinner in a restaurant and it got loud. And it was a lot of situations, right?
A lot.
But do we think that can get out one day? Probably could. Who knows? But you don't do anything these days without believing that it could be out.
That's what I'm saying.
When I was saying earlier about Floyd, let me say back to that. So when Floyd, the FaceTiming, I was never a FaceTimer. I had an Android when I met Floyd. I got a thing, and now when I call you and my FaceTime, I FaceTime because it's just easy to talk to you and read body language and see what you want and who around. But you can still film somebody when it's on the FaceTime. You never know when you're going to run into the weirdo that's doing the weird shit. But that's why you got to always be on your P's and Q's, to your point. And he wasn't. You fell off your P's and your Q's. Now, Tony Busby, you're a weirdo. And because of how you did Jay and publicly got slaughtered by Jay and his team, you now went and found another dummy or another person, allegedly. I'm not going to call Gabby a dummy, but just for the sake of this part of the segment, right? Gabby, why you didn't go to Gloria Allred? I mean, even though she's an ambulance chaser, she's more credible. She's more classy. ish. There are other attorneys out there. Why did you go to the one that we know is trying to get his name out and that just lost a suit? Even though you said that, Shannon, you can't say that because you was trying to put your Tootsie Roll in a honey bun. Well, Tony didn't like being talked about. He broke his silence and claimed that Shannon allegedly offered the accuser $10 million before filing her lawsuit. Now, here's a photo of Tony and what he had to say. On the one hand, Mr. Sharpe and his lawyers claim that the case filed by Jane Doe is meritless, yet on the other hand, they now have disclosed that Mr. Sharpe offered Jane Doe $10 million in writing not to file her lawsuit. That is a true statement. Jane Doe was in fact offered $10 million to settle, but rejected that offer, choosing instead to proceed with litigation. Sharpe's team is now trying to discredit and dox her. Sharpe and his team are now, as anticipated, also attacking me. We're not going to be deterred by these tactics. Well, you also said you weren't going to be deterred by Jay-Z and he destroyed you. So we don't know if the deterrent is coming or not. But if they offered her $10 million and she said no, is that an admonition of guilt?
No, I don't think so. I think she sees a bigger, I think she knows that there's probably the possibility for her to get more money, but I don't think that.
$10 million.
Yeah.
$10 million.
If somebody's convincing you, you can get
Marina,
50.
Is this an admission of guilt?
I could see both sides. I could, because like, you know how Diddy offered Cassie $30 million?
He paid her.
Yeah, and paid her out. Clearly he was like,
he paid her because
what?
Why'd he pay her? Because he did it.
He did it.
But I don't.
Because he did it.
I think that here, in Shannon's case, to defend Shay Shay, I do think that he paid, being like, okay, she's going to construe it as guilt, but they were both freaks. Like you said, it's not illegal to be a freak.
Yeah.
$10 million.
Yeah, but I don't think, I think that's a bad precedent to set, that if people settle in court, it means they're guilty.
Wait.
I don't think that's
$10 million. No. A settlement is, let me give you $1 million. Let me give you $1 million.
Even
hold on. Let me give you $1 million.
Oh my God.
Because Shannon is, okay, when we have sex, we're the only people that knows how the situation goes down, right?
Right.
We know, okay, with this one, I mean, with us, it's a longer list.
Lord,
but we remember what we remember with who we remember, okay? We remember. So when you look at the individual, you know your interactions. You know how it ended. You know how it started. You know the conversations. You know all your text messages. You know the social media. You can kind of summarize, okay, this one didn't go well. Yeah. This person was mad because I slept with his cousin. This person was mad because I didn't buy him a car. This one was mad because I didn't put him on a reality show. Right? So you understand for the most part, okay, let me make this one go away. Let me just go and give you $1 million. Okay, let me just give you $2 million. No, wait, let me just give you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, $10 million. And you mean to tell me that ain't an admission of something?
No, I do think though that $10 million can be an admission of guilt, but it can also be an admission of embarrassment. He's probably like, "Oh my God, this is going to ruin me, and I have to just shut her." Like,
because I was gonna say,
make her go away.
That video might, it could have anything. She could be wearing a strap on. It could have anything.
I
on it.
know,
and I'm like,
he's a freak.
I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying if
He's
you know how much of a freak you are.
Listen. If I was you, Shannon Sharpe, and I went and say she was chugga-bugging behind me with a strap on and just dicking me down, I would go right on ESPN, put on a conductor hat and be like, choo-choo, and I would tell my own tea right there for the world to just digest it and take the blow away. No pun intended. I'm sorry, Mickey, Minnie, go over there with Goofy, sit down for a minute, I got some business to handle. It is what it is. I'm sorry. Being the vice mayor is not going to ever, and please, hold on. Take this clip and post this all over social media. TikTok, do your motherfucking thing. Being the vice mayor of any city, of anything, I'm building my city. I'm building my district. My people are happy. I'm never going to become a slave to an idea of how I should be and who I should be. Y'all know who you elected. You got what you got, and that's why you're happy in the district. Now, outside the district, you may not like that. I'm a little flamboyant. I talk my shit, and I'm unapologetic because that's what fighting for my district looks like. But the people who voted me and know who they voted, I'm not going to be anything else. I saw somebody online say, is he a podcaster? Is he a vice mayor? I'm all of that, and I'm not going to give up my day job or take an oath of poverty to be a leader in Stockton. Not going to happen. But this is why when we become slave to these corporate brands, here's where I'm shifting to where you were going earlier. When you become slave to these corporate brands, am I missing millions of dollars? Probably. If I was a little more polished, a little bit more, oh my God, I can't believe, I would be making millions of dollars too, but I would not own it. I own it all, and I have the freedom, and that is a decision people have to make. The other part is, I'm going to blame a lot of you tired-ass, weak-ass, poor performing celebrities who are so afraid to come on the show because it's messy. This is the messy show. This show is messy. I ain't even talking about the rooter to the tutor behavior going over here. I'm talking about the fact that this show, in a nice way, is designed to let people come on and destroy other people. Every episode I've seen so far has been a celebrity coming on in a very safe environment, outing something that destroys or attacks or hurts other people. And he's getting the millions and millions of dollars from it that now this honey bun wants her fair share. Now, whether or not he tried to stick her to his Tootsie Roll in the honey bun, we'll see that later because we don't know all of the shoes to drop, the sex tape, all of those things. But what I will say is, you're taking a step back. You ain't even man enough. You ain't even in ownership enough. You're a slave to the lie. You're a slave to the process. You can't even say, I've been suspended. I've been asked to sit at home with my strap on and watch these people tear me apart. Jay-Z owns his shit. You didn't see Live Nation make him take a leave. You didn't see him and Beyonce went right over there to the red carpet with the Lion King Mufasa. Blue had a beautiful dress on. Family came out smiling and looking great while they were going through the storm that Tony Busby created in some bullshit. And they came out on the other side of it. You're going to take a little break. We're not going to see you for a minute. Shay Shay's podcast probably going to take a break. Everything's coming to a halt in your life because you don't know what shoe's going to drop. Now, look, if they drop something where he got Mickey Mouse hat ears on with a strap on, well, she got the strap on, he got the Mickey Mouse. I'm telling you now, the Lord is going to have to come down and hold my heart in my chest. Because I'm telling y'all right now, I'm taking a leave of absence from the city of Stockton so I can, for 1 week, do everything I need to do to burn this good internet down. And I'm telling you, those of you who are saying, oh my God, you're being full of delight watching a black man lose it. He ain't lost it yet. But I'm going to tell you right now, if I see Shay in that position that I hate doing at the gym where I'm stretching my glutes and my hamstrings with a girl behind him with a strap on and some Mickey Mouse helmet on, I'm telling y'all right now, y'all gonna have to, I'm gonna get in trouble at City Hall. I'm just telling you right now. And I'm gonna own it. I'll go through the censure. I'll take whatever, I will handle whatever consequences handed down to me. Because when I tell you I'm going to come in playing Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, I'm going to be crip walking all over the bullshit that we have to report on. Because this is insanity.
It's insanity.
Do you think he did it?
I don't know. If he did it, he needs to be held accountable. That's all I can say. I don't know, but I don't want to say somebody's guilty until we have all the evidence in front of us.
This is the only way, Shannon, that you can survive this. And I'm going to say this with a straight face because it's not even a joke. But Rob's going to laugh. But it's not a joke. I swear. Watch.
Oh, God.
Just come out. Right? If he's gay, this would be a good time to say, you know what? I ended the relationship because I'm gay. Nah, we don't want you in our community either. Oh, social media started pulling up old clips of the show. I told you he's had multiple people on there that have had a lot to say. Monique told him not to date the Marinas of the world. He didn't listen. Take a look.
Oh, they talk to us. How this dating thing? Because it's Mo is different now than when you and I.
It's different, baby. I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
But you tried to say what you tried to say. Mo,
I'm looking right at you.
I know you looking at me.
I ain't backing down. You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you.
Damn, Mo.
Now I'm looking right at y'all. Let me tell y'all what Shannon needs. Let me tell you what my baby needs. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. I know. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your old ass and get you an old bitch out there that can love you old. You're trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it. Dang. When they want you to go for the 4th round, you looking at her like, bitch, listen, I need you. Want some money?
Monique told him to stop tucking his girlfriend at night, waiting on a tooth fairy, and go get him an old one. I mean, Cat Williams had a lot to say. Listen.
I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends.
Well, it was only one in your case. King Conqueror. Boosie, we love Boosie. He was here at the show. He's had a lot to say. He reacted to the situation. Look. She heard he was about to get that $100 million. I'm sick of these hoes. And they be knowing they can probably get a couple million to make it go away. Y'all making it bad for women and men successful. Go be scared to talk to some women. Shaking my head. I'm sick of y'all broke pussy hoes taking this route to get money. Go to San Francisco, meet some tech guy, sell your pussy and get rich. Burbrain. It is worth mentioning that they did recently say that he was going to get a $100 million deal. But look, this is why you don't talk about your money. Don't talk about your money. Shout out to Robin from Baller Alert. Years ago, she told me, don't talk about your money. Sometimes I'll mention the valuation of Hollywood Unlocked because it is what it is and it's out there already. But I ain't going to get into what we got today, what we going to get tomorrow, what we going to get. There was a time I was going to go to the bank and get a couple $1 million out the bank and just do some photos with it. I'm glad I didn't do that. Why?
What?
Yeah.
Photo?
I was like, do not do that.
Because I never did
With
that.
all of the fake, like, paper
No,
print
real-
money.
real
I know,
money.
but like you can, in the movies and stuff, like, that looks
Why
real.
do that when you got it? But the point
You
is
know
that,
what?
like, okay. Anyway,
I can't.
Ray J had a lot to say. Look.
Yo, Shannon Sharpe, bro, like, I seen that, like, I was looking at, like, everything that's going on. Maybe I'm tripping, but, like, she told you to do some bondage stuff. I remember when I did Love and Hip Hop and Princess had me in the bondage room, I had the ball in my mouth, pause. They had me tied up and she was whipping me and beating me and shit. And then, you know, they wanted me to do that. I'm like, look, I don't do all that. It was choking. It was all kind of crazy shit going on in there. It was weird and it was painful and I hated it, right? It seemed like that's what y'all was doing. Then all of a sudden, when you get kinky with it, like, I'm gonna choke you outside. I'm into it now. After she done ties you up, whipped you, put a butt plug in you or whatever what it was that got you going, which is to each his own. And I didn't mean the butt plug. That's not okay. Now she trying to use it.
Butt plug. Did we report on it? Did I miss something? Because I ain't hear her say nothing about butt plugs. Ray J, that you being messy trying to. Ray J, you know what you was. Y'all go get Ray J. Bring Ray J over here. Ray J, you know what the hell you was doing? Did we say anything about a butt plug?
Never.
Everybody wants him to just. Shay, come on. Everybody, come on. Anyway, Cameron talked about it. He tried to help Shannon with tips on how to avoid getting set up. Listen.
But the first thing I took from this when I heard it was, look, he was living in California and moved to Nevada. She moved from California to Nevada too. So if somebody's being abusive to you in one state, why would you move to the next state with the same nigga who's abusing you? I don't know. Me personally, I found the red flag with that personally. And then the next thing is this sex tape that's supposedly coming out. Shannon said, put the whole 30 minutes out or 10 minutes, whatever it is. I guess there's some part in there for 30 seconds because brought that up. Shannon brought that up. He said, I believe he's going to release 30 seconds of it. Whatever that 30 seconds is must be nasty and violent and fucked up. If you don't want to put the whole 10 minutes and you reducing it to that 30, it must have been WWE in that joint. Elbow off the top of the bed, off the throw against the dresser. You white little bitch, come here and suck big black dick. Fuck you talking about? You want nigga dick? I get that part. I get it. Because I tell white bitches you want that nigga dick. But it's consensual. They agree. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I've been doing this in a different realm from him. I never made it as a professional athlete. I've been out here shaking and juggling these bitches since 20 years old. I know what you up to. I know when a bitch try to bait me in a text message to say some dumb shit. I ain't writing it back. You right. And I'm not writing nothing back. You can't get me to write a damn thing back when I see what's going on. You get what I'm saying? Then you gotta know. And see, that's the fucked up thing. It seemed like he trusted her from the conversation I heard. You gotta read the signs like, I don't want to get choked. That ain't something you usually say. Hold on. You don't usually talk to me like this. Why are you talking to me like this now? Yo, I'm gonna hit you back. Boom. And then you know when shit ain't right, you be like, when you answer the phone, they be like, hello, hello, hello. They setting up. Oh, I can hear you now. They done set the call up. You gotta read all these signs. And a lot of people call this nigga Uncle Tom, and he don't like black people, or this, that, and the third, et cetera, et cetera. This is why Stephen A. don't get into no shit like this. And I'm gonna say none of us is above it, knock on wood, but he knows he works for Disney. When you work for Disney, a sex tape can't be coming out like this. You can't be admitting that, 30 seconds of this shit was kind of rough. I'm letting y'all know. Shit get a little wild. But didn't he like 30 seconds get what? Yo, just make it.
Now, here's where I got an issue with that argument, Cam. Everybody don't have money. Victims stay with their abusers. We know that. Like, this is not the first time that somebody's been with somebody who was allegedly abusing them or sexually assaulting them, whatever. And if you're a 20-year-old living with, Uncle Shay, and the bag is there, and he lets you put a strap on and beat each other down at night with whoever has the biggest thing. But listen, they had their situation. I think to shame her again, victim shaming. They doxed her. They put out her information of who she is. Is that appropriate?
No, but she did put out the voice.
She did.
She put out her voice. They allegedly, from what Tony is saying, doxed her. Is it okay to dox a victim?
No, not at all.
Y'all hate her so much.
Oh, I don't hate her. I don't hate her.
I don't like her.
I don't hate her.
You don't like her. Okay.
That's not victim shame. I don't think she's a victim. It's just like I'm just smelling a little.
I have friends who do OnlyFans, but they don't do stuff like this. But
no, of course.
Yeah, but I'm not saying all people who do sex work are in situations like this. And if she's a victim, my heart goes out to her.
No, but to this point about what Cam said, she lived in one state, went with another state.
Yeah, that's
victims do say abusers and the victims say
yeah, all the time.
All right. And as Cam spoke about Stephen A. Smith, things seemingly got worse when Stephen told his fellow ESPN analyst that he can't save him from the consequences at the network. Stephen spoke about it and even referenced the Disney execs. Listen.
I am the executive producer of First Take on ESPN. I recruited Shannon. I went and got him and brought him to ESPN. But I'm not the boss. Those are other folks. There are layers to this, and there are certain layers even I am not on. I can tell you, I also spoke to co-chairman of Disney, the boss, Jimmy Pitaro, who made it very, very clear we are taking this matter very seriously, and we are looking into this very, very closely. And once we gather as many facts as we possibly can, we will go from there. And that is all he said.
So at the time that this statement was made by Stephen A. Smith, he wasn't backing up from anything.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's voluntarily,
allegedly,
backing up from everything.
Mm-hmm.
You think we heard the end of this?
Absolutely not.
This is just the beginning.
Damn.
I just don't know how you and I always talk about why are people scared to come on this show? Why are people scared to come on our show? And I feel like
because they got a bone. Because they got they got Gabby waiting in the folds. That's why it ain't because of something I'm gonna do.
No. I'm just saying in general. Like you always ask, like, why are guests scared to come on your show? And I'm like, because you don't run away from like asking straight up questions. And I'm like, Shay, I always thought like he does this good like. Not dumb, like he plays dumb, but he's like, what? You did this, you did that, and it's inherently messy. But now I'm like, maybe he really is a little off because how do you fall in this trap? Like clearly this just giving me a gotcha moment. And the girl Gabby's it's just giving that.
Shannon.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
Bye.
Like.
Why? This is the week of why. First, let me say, hello, yeah. This is the last topic of the day because I need to get out of here. This has been way too much. Kanye West is back on X, and he's not only airing out Jay-Z again, but he aired out his own dirty laundry. Now, Ye first dropped off this tweet about Jay-Z and Ye's 2021 track Jail. Take a look. Why did Jay-Z have to say no red hat on jail? This shit tore me to my soul. We fought about it, and he told me either leave that line on there or take me off the verse. Me wearing the red hat was the most standout example of me going against the program. Do you guys think he was instructed to say that? Kanye is so obsessed with Jay-Z. And even if you watch the Yeezus documentary that he had no parts in creating, that was some other folks who made that. And it's a brilliant documentary, 3-part documentary on Netflix. You can go watch it. When I watched it with Ye in the room and the filmmakers in the room, Jay-Z let Kanye down several times to the point that he felt that Jay was trying to keep his thumb on him because Jay was the bigger star. He was just and Kanye used that momentum to like become one of the greatest rappers of all time, whatever, or artists, whatever. But give it up, bro. Like at this point, we're tired of you talking about Jay-Z every day. The red hat was a stupid mistake for you at the time, and even in now's time. And this is not to say anybody out there that's MAGA that believes in. Hopefully, there's it's not as loud online these days if you all believing that MAGA is going to make the eggs more affordable or get your price of gas down. Now, those of you that were relieved that you were not going to pay your student loans, Daddy Trump is saying, give me that money. He's coming to take it out your check, 401k and everything. So he's attacked everybody and everything other than the billionaires. But then now we're attacking the billionaires because Tesla's stock done dropped 71% and poor Elon got to go back to work and leave Doge. The whole thing was not well thought out because the way our government has been set up is checks and balances. Well, I want to go back to what Ye said, and let me make sense of this. The red hat theory of let me buck the system by proving that I can say whatever I want does come with consequences. You can say there's a bomb on a plane, but there's consequences. You said it, you can say it, it can come out your mouth, but then there's going to be a fallout because that's what happens every time words leave our mouth, right? Well, moments after Ye said that about Jay-Z, is it given obsessed at this point? Like, why?
It's given disturbed.
Then we talked about him on a previous podcast where Ye had said some really disturbing things about Jay-Z and Beyonce's children. Again, we don't even tag children in Hollywood Unlocked. So it was wild that he did that. Well, moments later, Ye made a shocking claim about having sexual relationships with his cousin. This is what he posted on Twitter. He said, this song is called Cousins, about my cousin that's locked in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady a few years after I told him we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6, and then we acted out what we saw. My dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found in the top of my mom's closet were different. My name is Ye, and I sucked my cousin's dick till I was 14. Okay, many reactions. One, as somebody who's been molested, I take victimizing young people seriously because I'm somebody who survived it. I'm not a victim, I survived it. The second part is I'm sick and tired of all of these down low closeted homosexuals. And I'm not saying you are, Ye, but if it doesn't fly, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. And if it fits, sit. I'm tired of y'all using these coming out stories as a way of getting in front of sucking dick. Nobody molested talks about it that way. You don't say I was sucking dick or they was sucking my dick. People who survive molest and rape don't talk like that. They just don't. I don't, because sucking dick is an act of sex. Being sexually victimized is not sex. It's different. You know, this person penetrated me is what somebody would say if they're not, I got fucked by my cousin. Mm-hmm. The rumor I hear online is the cousin's younger. So did you act out what you saw with your cousin? Your cousin, you labeled him a murderer as if that's to give us an image in our minds of who he is. But he was your little cousin that you acted out sex acts on, allegedly. From what I understand, which in the context of which we're saying it, you molested him. And there's been rumors about Kanye being bisexual or closeted homosexual for a long time. So there were rumors about you and Diddy. There were rumors that you were asked to send penis photos to certain rappers that people told me directly. You asked them to send them penises, and they didn't. That person didn't send you the penis, but the other person sent you the penis. So I don't know if this is a way of you getting in front of saying that you're infatuated with penises and making us feel sorry for you because it happened allegedly when you were 14.
Allegedly.
Sucking dick. I don't think a person that's being forced, and it doesn't sound like you, he said he was acting it out, that they were experimenting. So then in his mind, it's not molest.
That's what it sounds like he's trying to say.
It's just weird. And without context, you dropped this for all of us to digest, no pun intended. Why did we have to know this? Something either is coming. Anyway, most of social media couldn't do anything but pray for Ye and then hope that he gets some help, which is what you hear all the time. Get some help, get some help. Mm-hmm. This made me say, why does Wendy Williams have a guardian and not Kanye?
Facts.
Right?
100%.
Finances are out of order. Life is in shambles. Social media is crazy. Mania. Just not. Why does he not have a guardian? Well, Boosie had a lot to say about this and says that he hopes that he gets some help. Take a look at what Boosie said. Damn, Kanye, I feel bad for this dude. This dude been through some shit, bruh. The rant makes sense now. This man was sucking dick as a child, shaking my head. His mind is fucked up. I hate him having to go through this as a child. This man coming for I can't even read this. This man coming for any in everyone with a rapture. Whoever wronged him they in trouble. Dude ain't holding back. Okay, Boosie, he's not saying he was saying he was doing this with a little cousin. So is he trying to, what was that?
I think it's more this gay shaming that he does, because I don't even know why Boosie would have that conversation when he paid his child to have sex as a child. Like, I don't understand. Like, my mind is confused. Like, the narrative you're saying is I feel bad he went through this as a child, but you put your child through that.
I'm not going to make a joke out of it, but I'm also not going to say that Kanye, this is just a mental breakdown that we need to give him help for. Like, I don't feel sorry for a person that does not want to get help. I know, being on the inside, he did not want help. He does not want help. And in some weird way, this is all just going back to keeping his name in the press, right? Like, you had a fashion line that was doing, a shoe line that was doing well, making billions of dollars. You had a clothing line coming out with a brand that was going to make millions of dollars. That was an amazing brand. You had music, you had everything. You've lost it all. Family, fortune, fame, not fame, but just everything. I'm confused at how you allowed yourself to get here. And then why drop that you and your cousin were sucking penis at 14? Why not talk about the more recent stuff of people saying that you asked for penis pictures or whatever? I think, what's her name? Iggy Azalea recently went live and made claims, right? About.
She said she knows stuff.
And Azalea Banks, right?
I don't know what she said. But didn't Iggy Azalea say something about him?
She was like, stop talking about me or else I'm going to tell more. Jeffree Star, too.
Jeffree Star made allegations that he slept
Allegedly.
with Ye. I don't know. This is what he said. Fuck it. The rumors are true. See, now you even got this. You got Smurfette out her bag, claiming that y'all slept together.
Isn't he a he, him?
He is a he.
Jeffree Star is just Jeffree Star.
Yeah, he is a he. Jeffree Star yeah. He don't like
Tokyo Tony's reacted to Ye's tweets and said that he's surrounded by yes men. Take a look. Kim tried to help him. She cleared your debt. She loved you. Her mama got you the best doctors. You refused. This broke your marriage, and now the support system is gone. This is why he continues. His yes men put him against Kim because they did not want him to get help. They cannot take advantage of him if Kim is there. These people break your support systems and then break you. Look, she ain't lying. I never thought I would agree with Tokyo Tony. You know, I think she summed it up. And the thing is that I'm just struggling with what we're supposed to do with this information. And then you dropped it on a song called Cousins, and then you just left it there for us to digest. He also later went on to say that now that he sucked dick, he can say this. Do we have that tweet? He said that now that he's admitted to sucking dick, he can use the word faggot.
Yeah, he did say that.
So this is my thing. Like, again, who's giving Kanye passes at this point? Because I'm not. Azalea Banks had a lot to say. This is what she said. Kanye and Virgil were lovers. Hold on.
Allegedly.
Elon Def got some head from Kanye off the ketamine.
Allegedly.
Kanye is on one of them Diddy tapes.
Allegedly.
Jay-Z was like, no homo. Trump was like, no homo. Travis was like, no homo. Drake was like, no thank you. Amber hit him with the strap.
Allegedly.
Kim thought she could, but vomited on his back.
Allegedly.
And started crying, Chris Yell cut.
Allegedly.
You know, I had Azalea Banks' number, but I had to block her because she'd be sending her texts be like this long. She said she would never.
Her tweets are that long too.
She said she would never come on our show because it's ghetto.
Oh my gosh.
Hey Azalea. Well, beauty mogul Jeffree Star, you know, he couldn't wait to claim it. We already showed you that. Remember back in 2021, they said that there was rumors that they had hooked up, leading to the end of Ye and Kim Kardashian's marriage. Why Kim Kardashian? First of all, if Jeffree Star could take Kanye West from Kim Kardashian, he deserves him. I really don't know what else to say about it. I mean, I'm not going to say that. I don't know what else to say about it.
I feel like all of these, I think fans and people around him alike should stop normalizing the crazy, especially because it feels like we're on the brink of what is like a mental breakdown. Like, I don't think we should normalize this craziness, and they need to take his phone away. Like, stop letting him just say and do anything.
You can't take Kanye's phone away.
Somebody need to.
Listen, I would take pride in saying when I was over there, I thought I had a lot I could do. You know, you were there.
Yeah.
Why Wendy got a guardian? Wendy never did none of this. Why? Should Kanye have a guardian? Let us know. That's it. All right, it's time for Thoughts and Prayers. Get me out of here. Kanye West is back on X, and those Twitter fingers have been fluttering. This time he wasn't only coming for Jay-Z, he was coming for our sanity with these crazy claims about his cousin. The hell? Social media can no longer laugh and brush off Ye's tweets. He's clearly resorted to trauma dumping, and it's sad to watch. Ye, we are still praying for you. And we're also praying for Miss Tina Knowles. I mean, she revealed her cancer diagnosis, and we pray that she stays in remission. This week, Miss T also admitted that she wanted to defend Beyonce over fake pregnancy rumors. But Miss T, we already knew that. But we still want to know what happened in that elevator. And speaking of Queen Bee, Blueface told his daddy to do like Beyonce and throw everything from Chrisean to the left. Rock has moved on, and Blue's doing the same.
Allegedly.
Elsewhere, Kevin Gates tried to come for NBA royalty, and LBJ and his queen shut it down. Kevin may have 2 phones, but his 2 cents weren't needed. Maybe he can send some of that to Shannon Sharpe. And Shay Shay needs to save all his coins because he's facing a whole $50 million lawsuit and planning to counter with a defamation suit against his accuser. Come on, Shay Shay. As they say, the evidence surfaces and dust settles. We'll be here watching. That's it. Please just follow the show. Subscribe everywhere. I need to get out of here. I need to go take a bath. But before I do that, let me tell you about an exciting new project, Jason Lee's Closet. Right now, you can go over there and get everything you've ever seen me wear, at least for the last 3 years when I lost all that weight. It's all available. I'm getting it out so I can go get some new stuff. And it's time for me to take in them orders. Go ahead and shop now, jasonleescloset.com. Until then, do we have anything else to say?
Make sure to watch this week's episode on Zeus Sunday.
Oh yeah, go watch the Jason Lee Show on Zeus Network. We've had a great season so far. We're halfway through now. We have another half to go. We love our partners at Zeus. Thank you so much, Lemmy and everybody over there. Go watch the Jason Lee Show, because if you're not watching it, you're missing out. Bye.
The Jason Lee Podcast.